So how do you set your first professional speaking fee? This is probably one of the most misunderstood parts of the professional speaking business. Now, there are two ways you can do this, okay? And you'll hear this at National Speakers Association, mostly meetings, stuff like chapter meetings, national meetings, that type of thing. There's a couple ways you can do it. One, you can start out low. This is the linear path to setting your speaking fees. You could say, well, I'm a brand new speaker. I've had success in other areas, perhaps, but I'm going to set my fee at $1,000 or $3,000, let's say, a low professional speaking fee. This assumes that you have the platform skills necessary to call yourself a professional speaker. You're entertaining, you're exciting, you can hold the attention of a live audience whether they want to be there or not. So I'm assuming you have that. If you don't have that, start there. But once you have that, then a lot of people say, well, you could start out at maybe $2,500, and then when you get busy at $2,500, you go to $3,000. When you get busy at $3,000, you go to $3,500, and so on and so forth. This is the slow road method of establishing your fees, okay? It's the linear path, basically, and you do not want to follow this path, okay? Because it will take you 20 years to get into really, really serious fees. Okay, this is a credibility-based business. That's what you have to remember. It's not like selling a product, like selling homes or cars or aluminum siding or anything else. It's all based on credibility. It's not so much the product itself. You are the product. Okay, so it's a matter of your level of credibility and background and expertise. Okay, but credibility is the main factor when it comes to setting your fees. Okay, so how do the savviest, smartest speakers set their fees? They become fee established, is what they call it. And fee established is basically just, what it says, establishing your fee, but they don't do it in the linear way. What they do is they become fee established based on another speaker that they're working with or working for, okay, that has a fee that's way past the fee that they can charge by themselves. Okay, so for example, I started out charging $500 a speech in 1996. Then I partnered with Bill Gove, who was charging $10,000. And my fee went from $500 to $10,000 because I was Bill's partner on stage. And so by the time I went on my own, I was fee established around the industry at $10,000. So I went from $500 to $10,000 almost overnight. Now I had to work on my speaking skills to make sure they were comparable, but it's not something so linear that every time you get a little better on the platform, your speaking skills go up. It's not like that. It's based on credibility. So the smart way to do this is to work for another speaker or with another speaker, get fee established at their fee level as opposed to your fee level, and now all of a sudden you're making leaps and bounds. So I went from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 because I started out fee established at a very high level because I was in with a speaker that had been in the business for 50 years. Savvy, smart speakers know to do this. You won't hear about it at NSA. I never heard about it in 25 years as a member. I've never heard about it. Maybe there are some people talking about it in the hallways. But typically, you won't hear it from stage. Not that there's anything wrong with that or anything like that, but you can go the slow way or the fast way in professional speaking. And I will tell you, I know almost every single major speaker of the last 25 years. I've either worked with or I know personally or both. Okay, there's not that many. There's about 100 non-celebrity, seven-figure non-celebrity speakers in the United States, okay? There's a couple dozen in other countries, and that's about it. Seven-figure speakers. There's many more six-figure speakers, but the ones that really know what they're doing are in seven figures. Why? Because the fees are high, okay? So it doesn't take that long to get to $1 million in speaking-related revenue when you're charging $10,000, $20,000 a speech. So it's the same people that make the money over and over. You'll see. This is an inside job. And I tell speakers this, and executives this, and professionals, and doctors, and dentists, and chiropractors, and real estate agents, and financial people all the time. Do not try to attempt this business in the linear way you would build another business. It's not like that because it's not based on the actual product. It's based on your credibility. Okay, so if there's any way you can enhance your credibility, you will automatically leapfrog your speaking fee. Now again, the one caveat is you have to be good as a speaker. You can't be an amateur speaker. Okay, you've got to be a pro. You've got to be good. You've got to make sure your platform skills are really solid. You don't have to be the best speaker in the world, but you do have to be at the professional level to charge professional fees. Otherwise, you'll burn out and you'll give 2 speeches. They'll realize you're an amateur and no one will ever hire you again. That happens all the time, okay? Because people go in with amateur skills. So you have to get trained at the professional level. But that being said, once that you're at that level, then you can catapult your fee level if you partner with a speaker that's way ahead of you. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's probably a whole nother video in itself. But the short answer would be what I did with Bill Gove and what other speakers have done with higher level speakers or speakers that were established in the business for many years before them, was you come to them and you offer to sell for them, or you offer to work with them or do something for them, and then in return, in exchange, you get to come into the business established at their fee. It will save you, this one video, okay, this one strategy can save you 10 years of your life trying to build it in linear fashion the way most people approach this business. It's just the slow boat to China, so you can take it if you want, but you're wasting years of your life. Okay, and so this is what we do in our Speaker's Apprentice program. Okay, this is another example. I can give you lots of examples, but I know mine the best. So this is one of the things I do for speakers in our Speaker's Apprentice program, is they come on stage with me, I introduce them as my partner, and I get $25,000 a speech for a keynote and $30,000 for a day-long program, and they've never gotten a speech fee. As long as their skills, and I make sure their skills are up to par, they come in at they enter the business at $25,000. They never have a $3,000 fee or a $5,000 fee or a $10,000 fee. They come in at my fee because I'm introducing them. I am ushering them into the business, literally on stage in front of crowds, okay, as my partner, an equal, okay, even though they've never been in the business. Why? Because it's faster. As long as they're good, as long as they're credible, their skills are up to par, they're knowledgeable about the topic, it transfers beautifully. And that's why I've got speakers making over $1 million a year in our Speaker's Apprentice program, because they were set up the right way. Can you do this the long and hard road and take 25 years to get to $25,000 a speech, or 20 years? Sure, if you want to. But if you can do it faster, you know, why not? Why wouldn't you? It's just a smarter way to operate. So something to think about, because people ask all the time. So one of the number one questions that the new speakers ask, and it's been like that since I've been in the business. How do I set a fee? Because it's not like a normal business, you know. And so it's based on credibility, as I said. And if you can be smart about this and savvy and strategic about this business, you can leapfrog. This is why people used to say, when I went from 0 to $1 million, I was one of the fastest non-celebrity speakers in NSA's history ever to go from 0 to $1 million in speaking related revenue. And then I chaired the $1 Million Speakers Group, and people asked how I did it so fast. It wasn't because I was smarter or a better speaker. It was because I fee established at a high enough fee that I could keep increasing my fee, because I was already at a world-class level when I started, not because I was so great, but because Bill Gove held my hand, ushered me in, and introduced me to crowds around the world on stage. That's what I do, again, for my Speaker's Apprentices. It's a faster, far more effective way and smarter way to establish your fees in this business. Or you can do it the hard way. It's up to you. But there's a better way, and this is it.